So what is up, everyone? Today is Friday, December 19th. So I'll be trading the Nasdaq like I always do. So for my bias, I'm a little confused. I definitely want to see like a little more structure play out. But we just took out London highs right now, and this previous day high right above. Like on the daily, there is an SMT at previous day low, right? When you look at NQ, we never actually took out previous day low, but ES actually did. So there's an SMT down there. I feel like we're delivering up. But I just feel like I don't like that we on the 4 hour, right? Or was it the 1 hour? No, it was the 1 hour. I don't like how we inverted this gap like right here. But I guess it apparently means nothing. I mean, but so I mean, it looks like we're moving bullish. I mean, if we're gonna keep moving bullish, I gotta follow order flow, but yo, what's up, Bakakenu? How are you, bro? Happy to see you here. I saw you were here mad early, I think, right? So yeah, I mean, we're moving really bullish. So at this point, I want to say I'm looking for continuation longs. I mean, and let me look at targets, right? So the first place I could definitely target for longs is obviously like this just obvious high over here, which is that like a daily high? Yeah, I guess it's the high from Wednesday. But honestly, I want to see. There's probably a 4 hour gap that's unfilled. No, there's not. But there's this high inside of this 4 hour gap that could maybe be like another target. Because when I say like I have a long bias though, I like to look like where areas we could draw to that are obvious. So at this point, I'm essentially waiting for a pullback into like a 5 or a 15-minute fair value gap. You said, yeah, I don't want to miss this live because it's been helping me a lot. I'm really happy to hear that, bro. That's honestly my goal of what I'm going for here. And honestly, too, I feel like part of the reason I started streaming, though, was I used to watch someone else trade, like you guys are watching me right now. And I don't know why. I feel like just sitting with someone right there and watching him, like, execute things in live time, listening to his thought process, like, seeing what an actual disciplined trader looked like right in front of me, like, honestly gave me a lot of benefit. Because, like, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of hard to believe that trading can actually work, especially when you've been trading for, like, years and you don't see any results. It's really hard to keep that belief that it can work, but then when you see someone, like, directly in front of your eyes make money day in and day out, you're like, oh, yeah, maybe this stuff can work out. So I'm hoping that we can open up, like, a 5-minute gap, like, right around here. And then I'd use that as a condition, where if we, like, can reject out of it lower time frame, I'd take a long. You said what strategy? So I trade inversion fair value gaps. So I'm going to wait for like a bearish gap to get created at some point, and then once we disrespect it, I'll use that as a confirmation to take a long. But I do like base all my trades off 5 and 15-minute fair value gaps. You said I have improved a lot since I started to watch you live trade. I'm really happy to hear that, Bakakenu, honestly. Thank you for the follow, Janie. That's honestly, I feel like the best compliment someone could give me from these live streams. You said, are you trading E-mini? I typically trade micros, but I like do my charting on the minis because like the chart of the mini means more. You said, where can I learn? I mean, there's tons of free information on YouTube. I mean, you can just look all over YouTube. I mean, I also live trade for free Monday through Friday, so you can pull up here, ask me as many questions as you want. But thank you for the follow, David, by the way. You said got an eval, made 1400, trying to pass in 2 days. Yeah, if it's at Top Step, you can definitely do that. I mean, if it's at any firm, really, but thank you for the follow, Hayabusa. You said, what time frame do you typically trade on, and how do you feel with the 1 hour time frame? I mean, I take entries off of any time frame between like the 5 and the 30-second, but I look at all the time frames, honestly. Like when I first like determined my bias, I started on the daily, and then I came to the 4 hour, then I came to the 1 hour, then I looked at the 15-minute, then I looked at the 5. That's kind of how I determine a bias. So it's kind of like all the time frames together. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but sometimes like you'll look at the daily, you'll look at the 1 hour, but the 4 hour showed something that's really telling sometimes. Oh, and thank you for the follow, Hidden in Chaos. Thank you for the follow, Come Take a Walk 9. Interesting name. So I'm still waiting until this 5-minute gap right here opens up, because I want to use that as a condition. You said, I'm in today, first time. Happy to see you here, Robin. Let's go. First live. Let's bank today. It is a Friday, though, but oh, I guess what I meant by that when I said it's a Friday is, honestly, I feel like Fridays and Mondays are like slightly lower probability. Not to the point where like I'm not going to trade. Like if something obvious presents itself, I'm still going to take it. But honestly, like Fridays and Mondays in my experience can be some like the lower probability days. You said, I've been doing entries off the 1 hour, but most people I see enter lower time frames, so I don't know if I should switch. Well, I mean, honestly, I feel like a great answer to that is, like, there's two types of trading. Like, there's swing trading and there's day trading, and you got to think to pick which one you want to use. What type of personality do you have, right? So, like, me personally, I'm ridiculously impatient. So, because I'm very impatient, that means I'm going to be a day trader. Like, I don't have the patience to hold trades for hours, but if you're a patient person, like the higher time frame does give like higher probability setups because like higher time frame, higher power. So like I wouldn't say if you like what you're doing, don't give up with it. Just because everyone else is day trading, you see, doesn't mean you should follow the crowd. I mean, like there's swing traders that make bread. It's more about if you're able to see consistent results with it, and if you can't find results, then maybe switch up. But so in a minute, we're gonna open up. I'll get rid of these drawings because I don't need to know like we swept out previous day high and London high anymore. But so we're gonna open up this unfilled 5-minute gap. So like this is kind of how I prevent myself from like taking trades when we're like all the way up. Like because you don't want to take trades when we're overextended. So me saying I want a retracement to this gap is saying essentially how I determine a pullback. Because a lot of times I like to say I like to wait for pullbacks before I take an entry, but how do you define a pullback? Like that could, like one person could define a pullback very differently than another person. So the way I mechanically define a pullback is I say a pullback into a 5 or a 15-minute fair value gap. You said, yeah, definitely. I really appreciate the advice. Yeah, of course, Hidden the Chaos. So in 18 seconds, we're going to open up this gap. So I really want to see us pull down and get a clear rejection out of this area right here. And like I was saying before, I think my targets, I should mark out, right? I mean, these are relative equal highs up here, honestly. So I guess what I'm looking at right here, right? So Like, you got to think in terms of targets. If there's a point where you can look at the chart and say, I bet a lot of people have their stop losses placed there, it's probably a great place to target. Like, because people always ask me, like, what exactly is liquidity, right? Liquidity is the areas that orders are sitting at, right? So, like, you got to think there's a lot of traders that are thinking this high up here is like a protected point. I'll put my stop loss up there. And they're thinking, oh, like these support and resistance traders, they're thinking these relative equal highs, this is like a resistance zone, right? But at the end of the day, like, it's really not. Once it starts trading toward it, it's just an area to be targeted. And I apologize in advance if the live lags for a second. Should be good now, though. Thank you for the follow, Jin. You said, are you trading NQ? Yeah, I only trade NQ, Nasdaq futures. You said, is it bad? I want to fade this move. Honestly, when I first sat down, I was looking for shorts, to be honest, because, like, I don't know if you saw, like, this 1 hour gap, I didn't like how we inverted it. Like, I feel like if we were going to continue up, we shouldn't have inverted this 1 hour gap, in my opinion. But, I mean, honestly, though, if it's going to keep trending up, I might have to take continuation long, but... Because higher time frame, honestly, like, I know there's, like, some volume, like, there's some imbalance down here. I forget one, like, what kind, but... Is it a new week opening gap, I want to say? You said how long you've been trading? I've been trading seriously for like 3.5 years. You said I'm going to wait for the home sales and see where we're at by then. Yeah, honestly, especially once it starts getting like to 950, I don't like taking trades because honestly, like, you could have a really great entry and then news could come out and then you're just cooked, if you know what I mean. And like, it would still be a good trade idea, just news cooks you. Speaking of shorts, though, oh, you said, do you have a clear bias today? It looks shoppy on the sloppy. Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't say I have a 100% clear bias because, like, right now we're trending up, right? I feel like we're going toward these highs up here, but at the same time, like, I don't like on the 1 hour we inverted this gap right here. Oh, and on top of that, I was trying to say this before. I feel like there's all these stacked lows down here. Like, I always talk about low resistance liquidity. So, like, look at all these lows. Like, imagine the amount of stop losses that are down here. There's data lows right here. Like, if we shifted to start moving bearish, there's a lot of bearish targets that are good. And even below all these stacked lows, I'm not going to scroll over all the way there, but like I'm pretty sure there's part of this new week opening gap that hasn't been filled in from like a hot minute ago. No, did it get filled in? Am I bugging? Oh, it actually did get filled in, I think. Unless I'm looking at the wrong one. I don't know, I'm lost. You said, can I tell you 3 levels of interest? I mean, yeah, sure. So we just took out these relative equal highs. We're moving so bullish. But I guess for some reason I thought we didn't fill it. We didn't fill in. Well, it's still a volume imbalance on the daily regardless. Down here. Oh, so if you guys don't know what a volume imbalance is, though, is if you look at these two candles, like, there's a gap in the bodies. So instead of like a fair value gap, like a gap in the body is a volume imbalance, and sometimes they act the same way fair value gaps do, where they want to get traded back to. So that's probably what I was thinking about before when I got all confused. Yeah, there's a daily volume imbalance. You said, yeah, that's what I was thinking. If we could take previous day high and then go down. Yeah, honestly, I actually don't trade Friday PM because I feel like Friday PM isn't like the most ideal conditions, honestly. Because I feel like it's so close to the weekend and like, I don't know. I don't trade PM Friday, but But I mean, honestly though, we took out previous day high, and it's not like we're showing any form of a reaction off that. So I feel like if we were gonna continue, I feel like previous day high is one of the first points I could see us reacting from, but we didn't get that. You said the November 20th daily candle closed the wick high and the week's open. The November 20th candle close all the way down here? I don't know if we're honestly, I don't know if we're going all the way down there, especially with the way we're acting right now. Yeah, you said no reaction, sadly, yeah. So in 15 minutes, there's going to be, I think it's orange folder news. I should know this. Yeah, it's orange folder news. So we got the existing home sales. And I guess President Trump speaks at 9 p.m. Why is Trump talking at 9 p.m.? That's so late. So we took out these relative equal highs. We took out yesterday's high. So honestly, one thing that I'm thinking about this right now, it's just hitting me right now. One thing that really could be a good setup, I know I'm thinking really far ahead, but so if we open up this 15-minute gap like right here, and then once 10 a.m. opens, if at 10 a.m. we manipulate down and then get a clear reaction up, I would like that long. So my reasoning behind that though is because like if 10 a.m. is a very critical time. Like I talk about this every single day. So the reason 10 a.m. is so critical is because on the hourly chart, we're going to be opening a new hourly candle. And on the 4-hour chart, we're also going to open a new 4-hour candle, right? So if you ever hear about like accumulation, manipulation, distribution, typically every single hourly candle and 4-hour candle has at least some form of accumulation, manipulation, distribution, right? So if we look at most of these candles have a wick on each side, right? So at the opening of the candle, we typically are going to manipulate the opposite way that we want to go for us to stop out like traders on the other side, and then we move in the intended direction, right? Because typically, like for example, this candle right here had no wick to the downside. I feel like when there's candles on the higher time frame, like the 1 hour, the 4 hour, they get formed with absolutely no wick, that needs to get swept. It's actually called the devil's mark. I don't know if you guys are familiar with like ICT concepts, but and when I talk about I want to see a retracement into like a 5 or a 15-minute fair value gap, the 15-minute fair value gaps are preferential, right? Because like when you go higher up in the time frame, like the PD arrays are going to mean more, like they're more significant. But if you guys have any questions on anything I just said, definitely drop them down below because I did just spit a huge amount of information. So honestly, at this point, I'm probably going to have to wait until 10 a.m. opens for me to actually take a trade. And part of the reason for that, though, is there's 10 a.m. orange folder news. Like, while the prop for my trade does allow me to trade, like, through orange folder news, honestly, I'm really not trying to take a trade through orange folder news. Because, like, there'll be times where, like I was saying this before, there's times where a setup on paper can look amazing. The news release drop, it wicks you out and then goes your way. You said, I was on a 1 minute long, tapped into 5 minute, back to 1 hour and 30 minute, delivered away. I guess if you're in a 1 minute long, it's probably playing out well for you. Oh, and if you wouldn't mind, guys on YouTube, just drop me a thumbs up. It does help the stream. And guys on TikTok, double tap on the screen if you don't mind. Helps me out as well. But if you guys have any questions, definitely drop them in the chat. Because I'll probably be waiting for like 10 minutes to take a setup, at least. You said just past 2 evals, my funded futures and Apex. Good stuff, bro. I always love hearing people that pass evals. You said, what do you mean by thumbs up? Like the like button? You said, I'm expecting price to go to 600 level. Oh, I mean, yeah, it's trending up. You said you were talking about wickless candles forming on the open side and higher time frame. Are those points of liquidity? I mean, yeah, I guess I'd define it as a point of liquidity, yeah. If anything, I'd more call it similar to more like an imbalance, though, like a price that needs to be traded back to, if that makes sense. But in my head, I just think of it like as a devil's mark. But Jake said, what's your plan, G? So I'm currently looking for longs. I'm waiting for a 5 or a 15-minute fair value gap to open up. We'll get a retracement into there and get a clear like rejection out of it. But honestly, we're getting closer to 10 a.m. news. So I'm probably going to wait for the news to drop and then try to get it set up. But thank you for the follow, Aquarius. And I mean, so like, yeah, there is this 5-minute gap that's probably going to get traded back to, but it's honestly too close to news at this point. I don't want to get wicked out. You said, where do you go to see if there's red/orange folder news? So I use a website called Forex Factory. I mean, since we're sitting here, I'll show you guys. So you should be able to see this now, right? So this is Forex Factory. So honestly, when I first come in here, you can like get this filter thing in the top right. So the way I typically filter it is I get rid of the yellow folder stuff. So I want to only see, this is like bank holidays and stuff. And there's orange folder, red folder. And then for currencies, I only select the US dollar. Because I trade Nasdaq, so it only like US dollar stuff only matters. And then from there, you can select this and you can change it so it's the this week. Hit apply settings and then it'll take a second to load. And then so you can see Monday there was orange folder news at 8:30 and then you can see like red folder news at 8:15. So I usually try not to hold through any, especially red folder news. You are not going to catch me holding through red folder news. Well, only if I'm full porting an eval. Like, I don't know if you guys heard me talk about full boarding CPI on Thursday. So like I came here, I saw at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, CPI, red folder news, and I full boarded that. You said, did you expect this run? Because I didn't. Honestly, I didn't either. Like that, when I first sat down here, I was looking for shorts. It's just, I just saw we kept going up and not stopping. And I was like, I'm kind of confused now. But logically, I think we should have went further down. I'll pull back up trading view. Yeah, so I mean, we're probably going to tap this 5-minute right now. We're very close to it. Oh, and ES took out previous day high as well. So it's like 4 minutes now until the news comes out. You said there's a small SMT hoping for a CISD, I guess. CSD. You said nothing clear. Yeah, right now there's definitely nothing clear, to be honest, in my opinion. I think news might clear things up a little bit. I feel like news kind of injects some volatility, makes things a little more interesting. But you said you thinking along here. I'm not thinking along from directly here, only because there's news coming out in like 3.5 minutes. And I don't want to get messed up by the news. And I wonder if there's not even a gap I could take an entry off of, because all my entries are based off of inversion fair value gaps. So there's no like bearish fair value gap for me to take an inverse off of right now. Oh, did I break the chart again? I love when it just forgets about one candle. I guess. Should I restart TradingView? There was a way I fixed this without restarting TradingView, and I forget how I did it. Yeah, I'll just restart TradingView real quick. I guess. Why is this making this hard for me? Okay. So I wonder. Okay, I just got to update it on TikTok, so you guys can see TradingView. Should be back. You said, do you also look at YM during your trading? Honestly, no. I only look at NQ and ES, because in my experience, I feel like it's just worked out the best for me. That was kind of the way I've been taught, and I feel like looking at 3 pairs would confuse me. You said, I need to adapt my market bias was bearish. Now I'm seeing bullish bias now. I mean, I'm the same way. I was bearish at first too, but I'm seeing bullish as well now. And Aaron said, how long you been doing this, bro? I've been trading seriously for like 3.5 years now. But honestly, I first started all the way back in 2018. I used to be like a degenerate gambler on options for a long time. And then I kind of got serious like 3.5 years ago. And Joey said this PA is ass. It really is. Honestly, the closer we get to Christmas, I feel like the more like just ass price action is going to be. And like I was looking at the calendar though, and I was like, oh wow, we're like really close to Christmas. You said, damn, 3 years, can't wait to get that level I just started in July. Yeah, I feel like trading is one of those things where like if you do it for a couple years, you can like really get good at it. There's like a high like skill ceiling, I guess you'd call it. But so things are going to get interesting in the next 10 seconds, right? So that news release is going to come out. So this candle probably is going to do something at least, I'm hoping. And it's not doing too much. But Aaron said, what advice do you have? I blew my account 3 times. I just started in October. Well, I mean, first, like just focus on making sure you have a profitable strategy. Like, I don't know how much evidence you have like backing your strategy, but like me personally, like I have months of data backing my strategy's profitability. And then when you find a strategy that works profitably, just keep journaling and just see if you can execute it properly in live time, and just always be trying to improve. But Bakakeno said, yeah, it's accumulating a lot. Yeah, it really is. So we just opened up a 15-minute gap, though. So honestly, the number one thing I want to see take a long is if we retrade back into this unfilled 15-minute gap and give me a clear reaction out of it, that is like my A-rated setup for the day, to be honest. That is the #1 thing I'm looking for today. And we'd also sweep out, like I talk about data lows all the time, right? So the high and low of that 1 minute candle, I'm marking out the wrong data low. This is data lows over here. So it's pretty close. But I do want to see if I hope we can leave behind data highs as well. Because data highs are a great target. But Ruben said, you thinking a long? If we can pull back, I 110% want a long, yes. I personally want to pull back first, though. I'm not sure if we're necessarily going to get it. But for me to actually like put my money on the line for this trade, I want to see a pullback first. You said if I see a market structure shift, it confirms my daily bias, really? You said especially when a 4-hour and 1-hour time frame, I just need a 5 and 15 minute to align. Yeah, time frame alignment's definitely always good. Yeah, so this right here is the data high. I really, really, really want to target this, honestly. You said, by the way, how much backtesting trade should I take to say my strat's profitable? I've taken 100 so far with a 7% win rate. That's actually a great start. I typically tell people like a minimum of 6 months of data. And like if you really want a solid answer, do like a whole 1 year of backtesting. Because honestly, there's like seasonality stuff. Like, because me personally, I've traded multiple Decembers now. So like if you backtest January, like the first couple months, you don't know if maybe like Q3 something's like slightly different, if that makes sense. Or I don't know, but I say 1 year is the best thing. You said yeah, for sure, yeah. So hopefully we inverted this 1-hour gap. I want to see us come lower. Honestly, I might be, if we can come to this 15-minute gap, give us a clear reaction up, I'm 110% looking for a long. And it's not even like, sometimes I pay attention if there's something called like a gap SMT, where like, let's say I want this 15-minute gap to get rebalanced. If ES does it instead, sometimes I'll use that, but you said down we go? Oh yeah, I hope so. This candle closes. Well, I mean, I don't like this current candle close, but this 1 minute inversion though, in theory, should deliver us lower. In theory. Is it going to happen? I don't know, but ooh. You said, what do you think of liquidity sweeps? I mean, it's something I look at almost every day. I mean, I don't base my trades purely off of liquidity sweeps, but I definitely look at liquidity sweeps every day. It's something I use to determine like bias and stuff, entries. You said T-Trade says, what else are you live on? I'm currently also live on YouTube. It's TimB272. Thank you for the follow trades. So we're slowly coming down, which I'm liking. Oh, I never marked out 10 a.m. open, right? So 10 a.m. open is right here. So it's always just nice. Like, it would be ideal if I could get a long below 10 a.m. open. That's like mostly ideal. Jake said, what do you, I'm sorry. Jake said, just my first ever funded. Well, good luck, bro. I'm rooting for you. You said I trade live, but I need to get on funded. Seems way easier and to scale, honestly, and for cheap. Yeah, honestly, the risk to reward for like how much money you put in compared to how much money you get paid with prop firms is like low-key crazy to think about. You said, what's up? Happy Friday, man. What's up? Happy Friday, bro. Are you a bro? I'd be saying bro all the time, and sometimes I'm wondering, I'm like, wait, did I just call a girl bro? Oh, it literally says inked up shawty. You see, I'm sorry I called you bro. I hope it didn't bother you. I call everyone bro. He said you good? Appreciate it. You said might turn into a short buy. The market's kind of fried. Yeah, I mean, we are chopping pretty bad right now. I really wanted us to come a little bit lower to this 15-minute gap. And it's not like neither NQ or ES tapped into this 15-minute gap. So, I mean, if we do continue up, I can't really take longs. You said, bro, have you traded CFD before? Oh, yeah, I've had my fair share of CFDs. I used to trade it, like, I don't know if you guys know The Funded Trader. I used to trade there. I used to trade at a place called, like, Fortune's Funding. My first prop firm account was actually this place called My Forex Funds. I don't know if any of you guys heard of that. They actually got taken down by the CFTC, like, a couple months after my first payout, like a month after. So I literally lost my first ever funded account because the company went down and not because I blew it. You said, do you think funded accounts will ever come to an end? Honestly, I used to think that, but at this point, I don't think they're going to come to an end. Because, like, I feel like not many people know the amount of millions of dollars that are flowing through TopStep, like, every day and all these other companies. Like, I feel like if these companies were raking in millions of dollars, like, month over month, I feel like the government would be like, hey, you guys got to stop this. And on top of that, remember that prop firm I just mentioned, My Forex Funds, they got shut down by the CFTC? They got in trouble because they were messing up traders on purpose, if that makes sense. Like, they literally were slipping their best traders. And, like, they were intentionally messing up their traders. And that's what got them slipped up. And I also think they didn't legally frame it right. Like, they were the broker and, I don't know, but... You said, are you trading under an account of your own capital? No, I only trade funded accounts. I currently only trade funded accounts. The goal is to move to like a huge live account eventually, but right now it makes the most sense to me to trade fundeds. So I mean, we're just chopping, hopefully. Like, I don't know if you guys heard about like accumulation, manipulation, distribution, right? So this right here could be like a little accumulation zone. We keep chopping. Hopefully, we'll eventually manipulate down into this 15-minute gap. And then if I get a clear reaction up, I would take a long at that point. And then we have this data high as a very clear draw, in my opinion. Because me personally, I talk about data highs and lows all the time. They're literally one of my favorite draws in liquidity. You said, is futures better? I currently trade CFD. Honestly, in my opinion, I think futures are better. Like, I used to trade CFDs, and I just figured futures were a better opportunity. There's a lot less payout denials at futures prop firms. The futures have a lot lower spread, and I just feel like the firms are like more reputable. But you said, yeah, Mark said CFD futures Forex. No, this is futures. And Trade says, A, we're finally aligning. Let's go. I just want to see us come a little bit lower down. Tap into this 15-minute. Just a little lower down. Ooh, this is what I want to see. So come a little lower. So hopefully, we can open up like this 1-minute gap or something. But you said, I'm finding it hard on CFD, bro. That's why I'm asking. I've been looking at futures. Well, the futures accounts, first of all, in my opinion, they're easier to pass. Like those CFD accounts, they're typically like 2-step evaluations. And like, I know it's like 8% and then 5% typically, but like, futures prop firms, it's just so quick. Like you can pass a futures prop firm account in 2 days, like with 2 trades, and you don't got to go for a crazy risk reward. Oh, we still haven't tapped into this gap, so I can't take a long yet. Yeah, but and the other thing is at CFD prop firms, I feel like they hate when you risk more than like 2% per trade. So they're forcing you to split every account into like 5 trades. You said you guys trading futures, RN? Yeah, I only trade Nasdaq, like NQ futures. Dude, my water bottle is so squeaky. I'd be like watching the recordings of these streams, and I'm like, why is the water bottle so loud? Maybe I gotta get a new water bottle just for streaming, I don't know. Come on, go down, Nasdaq. You're so close. You said, I was about to pass my eval yesterday, but the prop firm that I use has a rule of 30. What prop firm has a 30% consistency rule on eval? That's crazy. I could see like maybe 40 or 50, but 30. 30's bugging. Tatted V says, can you explain what lot size calculator or use it again? Yeah. So, not this. So you guys should be able to see my my web browser. Oh yeah, so the position size calculator, right? So it's just called futurecontractcalculator.com. It's one word. So you go to that website and then you input like, what am I trading? So I'm trading minis or micros. You put your account balance. So let's say I'm trading a $50,000 account. Let's say I want to put like a 25-point stop. I want to risk 1%. It'll tell you, hey, take 10 micro contracts. You'll risk $500. But I need to lock back into the charts real quick because we're tapping into this gap and getting rejection up. So I gotta lock in right now. You said it tapped? Yeah, I know. I was looking at that. Damn, I wish there were more fair value gaps here. So the thing is, right, the 30-second gap right here already got inverted. I can't take a long off that. On the 1 minute, there's literally no 1 minute fair value gap. On the 2 minute, there's no 2 minute fair value gap for me to take an inverse off of. There's no 3 minute gap for me to take an inverse off of. There's no 4 minute and there's no 5 minute. So as much as I would absolutely love to take a long right now, there's just no gap for me to take an inverse off of. And unfortunately, I follow my trading plan. You said literally waiting for one more confirmation before I can go long. Altman says, can I ask you for some unbiased advice, please? Yeah, of course. But, you said, bro, funded next has 40% consistency rule? Yeah, that's a little much. But, you said unprofit ended with 900 instead of 2K. But I do appreciate both you guys letting me know it tapped, though. When it tapped into that gap. But SJ says, yeah, not confident enough to take long, might fail. Honestly, with the way this candle right over here closed, if we can get another sweep like inside this gap and then deliver up, that would be amazing. But you said if a 25-year-old had 7.5 M to 10 M, would it be shocking? What percentile? I'd say that's ridiculous. I'd say it's pretty shocking. I mean, honestly, I think the percentile of people that even have a single M to their name is probably like ridiculously low. I mean, that's not even my... You're asking the wrong guy. You're asking a poor man about percentiles of millionaires. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm poor, but... You said bro came here to flex. He has 7.5 M. Yeah, like, dude, if you're... Come on now. Yo, T-Trades is being the instigator right now. You said I can't name the bank, but it was a large U.S. bank. You know, Altman, I work in a bank too. I'm a teller. I'm not going to say the bank either, but that's why I'm dressed up like this. I actually got to go to my shift later at my bank. You said he was a private bank client. I mean, I know you can't confirm and deny this, but if I had to guess, I want to say Chase. But I mean, don't say anything. You said, yeah, you actually can't say the name of the bank you... Yeah, honestly, too, like, regardless of me, I can't say the name of the bank I work out, and with my luck, if, let's say, imagine I start taking losses on live stream and someone calls my job, and they're like, hey, one of your employees is giving me unlicensed financial advice, I could probably get fired for that. Like... He said, bro, that's hilarious. No, honestly, like, I know it's far-fetched, but to be honest, imagine it with my luck, that would happen. Like... But you said, Nick says, no, you have a disclaimer. I do have a disclaimer, but I don't know how far it goes. I don't know. I just do the best I can with my disclaimer. Oh, you said, did you sign the NDA though? No, I did not sign any NDA at my job. Because honestly, like, I'm kind of like a lower level teller employee, if that makes sense, so. And like, I made sure, I'm not like a financial advisor in any way, where like, because you know, once you get to like financial advisor level, you kind of have to like, get a special account, where I think they like monitor stuff and stuff like that. Like, I haven't gotten to that point, and I don't want to get to that point. But you said, what time frame are you on? I'm on the 1 minute chart right now. It's kind of choppy. I would love for us to manipulate down very clearly and come back up. And SJ said, is YouTube the best place to watch you? Yeah, YouTube's the best place. I feel like it's more real time and the charts are like full, everything. I recommend coming to the YouTube, if you ask. I wonder, we still haven't opened up any gaps, right? This is such chop. There's like no fair value gaps at all in this range. So this is nice. We're getting a manipulation down. I want to see a fair value gap open up here so I can take an inverse off of it. I would prefer if we could open up a 1 minute gap here. So I'm not taking any setup just yet. I'm just getting ready in case something happens. Dude, this could be crazy. I wouldn't go for this, but this could give me some crazy risk to reward, I bet. Trade University says 16 live watching, still the first viewer of your stream. Nice going, bro. Yo, I appreciate you. And I still remember that day when you were one of the first people talking about funding pips. I'll honestly never forget that, bro. I appreciate you, said Arth. But so we did open up this 1 minute gap right here. Honestly, if we could close through this gap without putting in an SMT, I think I might take this long, to be honest. You said got a 1 minute FEG. Yeah, I'm looking at that right now. He said thank you so much. Thank you, said Arth, bro. Honestly, like at the beginning though, I feel like it's hard to believe, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. He said, bro, that's sick. I remember when he first started streaming, just tapping in this week. Yo, I appreciate that, SJ. Drip says, Timothy, bro, I'm 400 away. 400 away from what? So I wonder if we opened up a 2 minute gap. There's probably some tiny 2 minute here, I want to say. Yeah. So I always pay attention to the highest time frame gap, right? So right now 2 minutes the highest time frame. So I just got to get my break even point straight, right? So I will go break even when either NQ or ES takes that internal high over there. That's only if we close to this gap, though. Nick said, honestly, I wish we talked about this in school during the senior year. I wasn't into trading at all then. I first started getting into trading literally directly after high school ended. And at that point, I still had no idea what I was doing. I mean, I'd say until the past year, I honestly had no idea what I was doing. Bisa. Oh yeah, honestly, you're saying do I stop? I'd recommend stop trading, bro. If you said you took a massive L short for 400, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't say today is the highest probability conditions. I mean, you can always come back to trade another day. Unless you see an A plus setup that really fits your model and you're confident in it, but they said I'm a little late to the game too, but catching up. Yeah, I mean, I always talk about I feel like everyone feels like they're behind at to their own extent, but at the end of the day, you just gotta think I'm at this point right now. I just gotta do the best I can and use that as motivation for me to work hard. We're dumping. He said just grabbed 2 no activation fee 50k combines on Top Step. Hope to get them activated for 2026. Well, good luck, bro. I'm rooting for you. And you said, what if it taps the CE of the 15 minute? I mean, if anything, it might be a little better because we got a little bit more of a retracement. But honestly, if I were to take longs, right? If we were to open up like a 5-minute gap, I would I feel like 5-minute inversions are pretty strong because they're like so high time frame, if that makes sense. So if we could like open up this 5-minute and close through it, I would be pretty confident in that. But if we open up this 5-minute gap right here and like respect it, I would kind of need to be bearish, if that makes sense. Because a lot of times though, I talk about conditions where like if we open up a 5-minute gap, if we respect it, I can look one way, but if we disrespect it, I look the other way. But I should probably mark out CE of this gap though. So all CE means, in case you guys don't know what CE stands for, is consequent encroachment, which essentially just means like equilibrium, 50%, right? So a lot of times when you look at ranges, you want to mark out the 50% point. So you said you're still looking for longs. At this point, I think I'm still looking for longs. At some point, I am gonna flip, but I don't think I've flipped bias just yet. Because we could come and tap into CE of this wick. And there's also this kind of like mitigation zone, right? Like people call it order blocks, right? We could come down here, tap into this order block, CE of the wick, and then then we push up from there maybe. But it said good morning, Tim. Good morning. Happy to see you here. NPEL Chicago. So I would love for this 5-minute gap to open up because now we're starting to get a rejection back up. So this is kind of more in line with my bullish bias. I would prefer if this 5-minute gap can open up and get inverted though, honestly. You said, did you take a trade yet? No, I have not taken any trades yet. I haven't found anything. There's a chance I might be taking a trade in the next like 10 minutes though, but he said, I see lows being swept now. We could be in this up move I'm looking for. I need to break a structure. He said, as soon as I hit TP or stop loss, I'm going to sleep. You said, what is the higher time frame, FVG? So if I were to take this long, I'd say we're delivering from this 15-minute gap right here, and then we're inverting a 5-minute. Right, so we're respecting that bullish 15-minute and disrespecting a bearish 5-minute. That's only if we close through this gap, though. That's like my confirmation, essentially. So yeah, this 5-minute gap just opened up, right? So honestly, if we can close through this 5-minute gap right here, I'm honestly definitely taking this long. You said I'm looking for longs around 25,410. Not a bad area. For me, I'd say a pullback enough. If we get a clear rejection up, I would take a long. Trade says, let's hope this doesn't break my winning streak. I'm on a 4-day winning streak. Pretty much been winning all week. Love to hear it, bro. Congratulations. I mean, even if you do take an L today too, like 4 winning days is not something you like forget about. Like if you do, God forbid, take an L, try to focus in on that. What's my stop loss? What, 65 points? 3 contracts I'm taking? Annoying. You said, how do you decide if long or short? I mean, I just use like a daily bias, and then I just wait for a confirmation in either direction, essentially. So in whichever direction I get the confirmation in, it's usually the way I start trading. Trip Hedrick says back to 54 bucks, bro. $54 away. Nice, bro. Ugh. So it's looking like we're going to close through this. If ES, the only thing that's going to make me not take this trade is if the S&P 500 ES, if we take the data high and put in an SMT there, I'm no longer willing to take this. Hopefully, I want it to just hang out where it is right now. That's like what I want ideally. Because I have to wait, what, 2.5 minutes for this candle to close? So... because that's pretty much essentially the confirmation I want. And people ask me sometimes, though, they're like, oh, well, you know, like we inverted like this 1 minute here. We inverted this. But you got to keep in mind, like since we're trading inside this 5-minute gap, since the higher time frame holds the higher power, like that 1 minute could get inverted, but the 5-minute could still hold and you could still get screwed. So, I mean, I'm waiting for the full confirmation. That's what I always do. But honestly, like, even like I always think when I take a setup, if God forbid if I lose on it, is it something I'd be upset about? And this setup is, I feel like it's so clear. If this thing loses, I'd say, you know what? Like, I did my best. There's nothing more I could ask. Because honestly, if I can get a good close, if it stays where it is for the next minute and a half, I think this is a really nice setup, to be honest. I just need my confirmation. Which is essentially just a candle close here, but... come on, chill out, Nasdaq. You said, how do you decide TP and stop loss? Well, my stop loss always goes at the swing low in the most recent price leg, and then my take profit, if I can't find a good area to target, it ends up being 1-to-1 risk to reward. But sometimes if there's like a clear draw nearby, I'll just end up targeting that. But so I'm getting ready here. So in 53 seconds, if this candle closes through this 5-minute gap, I will be taking a long. I'm going to be risking $500 on my accounts. I just got to make sure, am I risking correctly? So if it gets to 70 points, it's still 3 contracts. 75 is still 3. Okay, bet. Yeah, I'm taking 3 MNQ contracts probably. Unless it spikes up last minute, I might have to take 2 then. You said, do you trade gold? Nah, I only trade Nasdaq futures. But, so 15 seconds. So I want to see a strong close here. If it flies down last minute, I probably won't be entering this. I don't like that close. I'm gonna try it. I'm in there. I'm low-key a bit under risked, but it's totally fine, to be honest. So I'm going to show my executions for you guys. I'm liking this reaction, though. Oof. I always hate when I have to, like, use some discretion in my trading. Because, like, in my opinion, these highs are a very clear draw, but that close right there makes me really second guess this. But I think you guys can see my screen, right? Yeah. So I'm going to go break even when either NQ or ES takes this data high. So I'm on my other monitor, I'm watching ES. I will tell you guys when I go break even, but... I'm not going to lie, I'm low-key a bit anxious right now. Only because I really don't like that close through the 5-minute. It was not a strong close. But there's the data high above. We're delivering to that. I mean, Robin said, "Do you think sell?" I'm in a long position right now, and I'm betting money on it, so no, I do not think sell. But this right here is the exact reaction I really want to see. Now, I'm going to be completely honest. I probably should have risked a little more on this because, only reason I say I should have risked a little more is because I'm going to be just shy of the amount I want to take a payout. But honestly, I guess I'll just take a payout next year. Because I'm actually going to take a break from trading these accounts next week for Christmas. Because I don't like trading the week of Christmas on my... Like, these accounts are the ones I care about, if that makes sense. You said, what's your risk to reward now? I will check that. It's a 1 to 1.35. So we have 2 minutes until this next 5-minute candle is going to close. I really, really, really want this candle to close strong. Because that would give me the confirmation I was essentially looking for, like, originally. You said so hard December for to take a payout. Yeah, honestly, I didn't get any payouts in December. And I'm like ridiculous. If this trade hits, I'm going to be like literally like $100 away from the point I want to be at to take a payout. But I'm not doing anything stupid. I mean, I'm just going for 1-to-1 and I can get the payout next year. It's whatever. If anything, if I wait to take the payout next year, I'll get taxed on it next year instead of this year. So whatever. But I feel like ES is moving a lot more bullish right now. Like ES is getting closer to this data high I want to target. And if ES hits it though, I will go break even. So worst case scenario for me is if this candle right here shoots down. That's worst case scenario. What's up, Sam Rat? How are you? But so honestly though, so if this candle shoots down, no bueno for me. No bueno. So I mean, it can pull down a little bit right now, but the thing that matters the most is the close of this candle, right? So I mean, it's an acceptable close because on the 1 minute and like compared to my entry, it looks worse. But yeah, I mean, it's pulling up a little bit because this entry was all based on the 5 minute. So yeah, as long as okay, we're in business here. You said, I think you're good, might go down, but will bounce back. Yeah, this current candle might come down a little bit, but I think I'm good now. Honestly, I'm trying to think. Should I add one more contract? The thing is, if I add... No, I shouldn't. I gotta stop. If I add one more contract, I could get a payout, to be honest, but... Why not? I want that payout to end this year, bro. So unfortunately, instead of being under risked, I'm a little over risked now, but let's see if I'll regret that decision. You said, nah, start the year off right with the payout. I mean, yeah, but I also kind of want to end the year off right with the payout. I don't know. I'm already in, so I mean, I'm not going to like second guess myself. But honestly, to be honest, I know right now I'm a little scared. I feel like in the moment, sometimes it is hard to decide things. But honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, like we have a data high above, we've inverted a 5-minute, we're delivering from a 15-minute. Like this is honestly a really good trade, and I'm okay with putting like a little bit of extra risk on. You said price needs to fix up and go up. Yeah, it should be delivering up. I don't know why it's stalling. Oh, come on, go up, Nasdaq. You said check ES. There's an SNT, not with data highs. I don't care about the SNT at that little swing point. You said what time frame is this? I'm currently looking at the 5-minute chart. So I mean, I guess there is a 5-minute gap below. So I guess we're gonna come down, maybe retest this inverse. But you said don't be greedy as long as you live another day's new opportunity, but wish the best to all traders. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm being greedy. I mean, I'm like only like $20 over risk, to be honest. And honestly, I didn't want to enter my full position size until we got a strong close through that gap, and we did get it, to be honest. So you said I'm not in that trade yet. That why? Oh, you said I'm not in yet. That's why it's going down. So hopefully we can respect this 5-minute gap, because if we close through this 5-minute gap, it's definitely not a good sign, but it's not looking good. You said, should I become the next market mover? Put in 20 mil? Oh, wait, is it pulling up maybe? Because we still have another 30 seconds till this candle closes. Hopefully it can pull up in the next 30 seconds. Can you pull up, Nasdaq? Hold that 5-minute gap. You said, can you go to the 30-second? I mean, sure. I mean, what, do you want to see the candles form quicker? I mean, oh, that's not good though. So we inverted this 5-minute gap, but this is a setup I would be fading typically, right? Because like we're not delivering from anything significant. We're not delivering from a 5 or a 15-minute fair value gap. And there's also like data highs above. So I feel like data highs need to get swept, to be honest, but I don't know. I mean, the way we're moving right now, it's not looking too good for me, but we'll see. I mean, it's either I hold these trades until it either hits stop loss or take profit, or I stop to break even. So I mean, you said, why are you long? We're delivering from a 15-minute fair value gap. There's data highs above. We're in bullish order flow. You said, bro, my stop loss. Bro, your stop loss is my short entry. Oh, yes, you're a breakout trader. You said, Timmy, this might be it. Yeah, honestly, it's not looking too good right now. This is like the last area before it could start rejecting up, to be honest. You said a horrible entry, bro. Let me show you my P&L calendar. I guess I'll show you these accounts. These are doing a little better because I've been trading them for a bit longer. But so in December, I've actually only had one losing day. You said nobody copy this kid. Well, in December, I only had one losing day. In November, I didn't trade the first week in these accounts, but I only had 2 losing days, and all these other days are green. So I mean, I might take a loss today, but yeah, losses are just part of a winning system. You said, Tim, you the goat, bro. Forget them. I appreciate that. So, I mean, yeah, I'm honestly probably getting stopped out here, to be honest, but this is like the last area I could see us reacting off of. Because we're tapping into like EQ of this wick right here. The thing that surprises me, though, is we never hit those data highs on NQ or ES. So hopefully we can start pulling up now. You said, yeah, there's 2 FVGs in the 1 minute and the 2 minute rejected off of it. I like how I added to this. Nasdaq gods, be nice to me. Nah, I'm cooked. You said, how do you think NQ is moving? Honestly, I think NQ is not moving the best right now. Because honestly, based on the way I view the market, I'm actually very surprised that we didn't hit data highs. Like, neither NQ or ES hit those data highs. And they're like trend-ending data highs. Like, I'm really surprised we didn't hit them, to be honest. You say we are cooked, chat. I mean, it didn't hit stop loss just yet. I don't want to jinx myself, but it was yesterday. I got my stop loss got edged yesterday too. I mean, it probably won't happen 2 days in a row, but you said, what's a data high? So at 10 a.m., we had news that came out. So it's the wick left behind by that candle where the news release came out at. So they're typically pretty strong draws. I love targeting data highs and data lows all the time. And I like that the data high is at the end of a trend, right? So it's like, I don't know, it's just like double. But so this right here is the telling point. If this candle wants to flip down, I'm probably cooked. But if it wants to magically fly up, I might have a chance here. You said, what was the news? I'm pretty sure it's pending home sales. But I essentially need, like, this candle right now, if it doesn't pull up, I'm cooked. You said, does news come out the same time every day? How do you know there's news? I just use a website called Forex Factory. So that shows me when there's news events. You said, bro, I took shorts on this. Wednesday, London/New York high swept. Price tapped a 15-minute FVG. I mean, yeah, now it also tapped a bullish 15-minute FVG, and there's data highs above, though. You said, bro, by the time I see a 5-minute break of structure, I'll be in the afterlife. I'm dead. You said, how long did it take you to become profitable? Honestly, I'd say it took me like 3 years. Oh my god, is my stop loss going to get edged 2 days in a row? I can't start getting hyped right now, but I swear, yesterday, it literally came like millimeters from my stop loss. No, I'm getting hyped. I gotta stop getting hyped. I feel like if I get too excited, it's going to move back down. No, I'm getting too hyped. I can't jinx it. You said, haha, don't jinx it, bro. Yeah, I feel like I said it, and I'm just thinking about that. Oh, fuck. Why is it pulling back down? But, said, let's go. How many payouts have you had? I actually have... Oh, fuck. I didn't... Come up, Nasdaq. But, I've gotten a lot of payouts. I think I jinxed it. You said, how tall are you in pips? I don't know how to answer that question. You said, we're getting swept. You said, are we cooked? Maybe. I'm holding it till stop loss, but it's not looking good right now. I will be holding this thing till stop loss, though. You know, one funny thing I used to do, long time ago, when I like first got into, well, honestly, even not when I first started getting into trading, I used to sit here though, and I used to be like, up, and I used to like make all these motions with my hand, like, come up, and I used to feel like it was doing something. I used to be bugging out when I used to take trades. Said, you're my liquidity. Well, we all gotta be each other's liquidity. You said jinxing doesn't affect the market. In my head, I feel like it does sometimes. Oh, and thank you for the follow, Benji Franks, though. You said, bro, how do I turn on the hover on top of my screen? I don't know what you mean by that. You said, your stop loss is my break even. I mean, me personally, I would never short with data highs above. I really think these data highs should have been swept. I mean, today, they might not get swept. There's some days where it does stuff like that, but in my opinion, those data highs are a strong draw. Oh, Jonah says, same trade, bro. Love to see it, bro. I hope we don't get stopped out in this. You said you're going to hit stop loss 2 unfilled FVGs below your trade. I don't know. We'll see. It hasn't hit stop loss yet. You said read the market, don't guess or jinx your trades. I mean, if anything, all of me talking in between this trade hitting stop loss or break even or take profit is just entertainment, honestly. You know what I mean? Like, I'm saying like, oh my god, we're cooked, like, oh my god, this. But at the end of the day, though, as long as these things I'm saying don't affect my trading, doesn't mean too much. But said he meant Hoover. Oh, that makes sense. A Hoover vacuum cleaner to pull price up. That makes sense. But you said need to look into quarterly theory. Took a short where you took a long TP in 5 minute. Hope turn. Yeah, I mean, best luck to both of us, bro. You said, hey, just join. You take longs today. Yeah, I'm currently in a long position that I'm hoping doesn't hit my stop loss. I want this candle to start pulling up. You said self-talk while I trade always throws my psych off. Yeah, I mean, I know what you're talking about, but I've been trading for a hot minute. I can keep my emotions in check, honestly. Like, I used to be the complete opposite, where, like, my psych was an absolute mess, and I feel like because I was so bad psychologically, I feel like right now I'm kind of the opposite since I've done so much work. But you said, hey, bro, saw your videos, keep the good work, love seeing you grow. I really appreciate that, bro. It means a lot. Much love. I like how Jay's like, your stop is my TP. Well, let's see who hits first, bro. Best of luck to both of us, bro. Dude, people love coming into my chat and saying your stop loss is my TP. But just so you guys know, guys in the TikTok, if you do want to see this like in full screen without any delay on YouTube, it is like that over there. So if you guys are interested, youtube.com, timb272. But If you guys want to see me hit stop loss in full quality. You said wick closed iffy. Hopefully it closes out strong. Yeah, I don't like that this 5-minute candle wick down, but hopefully the next candle. You said why the long? So we tapped into a bullish 15-minute gap. We disrespected a bearish 5-minute gap, and there's also data highs above. So me personally, like some of my favorite draws and liquidities, I love like equal highs, equal lows, data highs, data lows. So yeah. And someone asked, do you record your live? Yeah, so every single live session is recorded. It's on my YouTube, so if you go to the section called like live, you can see like the recording of every single live stream I've done in the past. I leave them all up. You said, where's the data highs? The data highs is just where my take profit is. It's basically the wick on the 1-minute candle at 10 a.m. because at 10 a.m. we had the new home sales come out. You said NQ? Yeah, this is NQ futures. I only trade Nasdaq. You said December price action just isn't good. Your entry... Yeah, facts. Like, honestly, like, people in chat, they can, like, talk about this and say this is a bad trade all they want. But honestly, like, I know my model, and this is a pretty decent trade, to be honest. Like, if it hits stop loss, I'll say, you know what? I tried my best. Like, I'm happy with the setup. You said you in buys? Yeah, I'm in longs. You said Fridays usually don't take out Monday's highs. It's a high % fact. Honestly, I wouldn't doubt it, but this just kind of follows my model, to be honest. And I don't analyze a million things. But you said I'm thinking of doing a small account challenge with options. If you got the money, go for it, bro. That'd be cool. Me personally, I don't even like options that much. But yo, JP3, you like how many people I got in here? It's kind of popping today. I never usually have this many people for live trading. Kate, is that KLT Trade says you're cook gang? Potentially, we'll see. If this 5-minute candle closes pretty bearish, I mean, might be cooked. You said you on the 5-minute time frame? Yeah, this is the 5-minute time frame. You said you're a pretty chill dude. I appreciate it. That's what I aim for. What time is it? It's 11 a.m. Hopefully, so we are in the 11 a.m. macro. So I was talking about the 10 minutes before and after, like 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. are usually pretty good times to trade. So hopefully, since we're in the macro, hopefully we can get some delivery up right now. It's looking like ES is kind of starting to get some bullish delivery right now, but... You said live trade or paper? I'm trading on funded accounts. You said, what time frame do you use? I mean, I use like almost all the time frames, but this right here is like a 5-minute trade. Baka Kenu said, bro, show them your P&L. I mean, I did before. I don't gotta flex too hard. It's fine. I mean, since you asked, why not? Well, is this trade gonna stop me out? Oh, nah, I can't flex my P&L. I'm about to lose. Ugh. Yeah, so I took a loss on that. You said, did you take it off the 5-minute IFVG? Yeah, the 5-minute IFVG was how I entered, yeah. So honestly, I want to see, is there some other inverse I could take a long off of? Because I'd be willing to take one more long today, to be honest. You said, do you recommend me to buy accounts after December's over? Yeah, honestly, wait until December's over. You said, do I need a certain amount to trade? I'd say around $300 if you're starting with like prop firms. So I want to see. So we have an unfilled 4-minute, right? Okay, am I really about to take this 30-second? Am I really about to take this? There's a chance I might take this 30-second, to be honest. There's a chance I might take this 30-second long. I just gotta make sure there's no 1 minute gap, there's no 2 minute gap, no 3 minute gap. I might try this 30-second if we close through. Said price is ass. Low key, it really is. So I might take this long right here. What, 10 seconds? Ooh, I'm taking this. I'm in there. Dude, am I low? Am I over risked again? Ugh, I suck at calculating position size. Not by much. I'm barely over risked, but I'll show my executions. I mean, I'm only over risked by 30 bucks. It just scared me at first. So I'm trying to think. Do I just want to get back to break even on the day? No, I'm not going for a banger on a Friday. Well, let me think. Where is this data high? I mean, now the data high is miles away. And at what point I gotta go break even soon? I'm break even right now, actually. This is a risk-free trade, guys. Risk-free trade. And I still gotta figure out where am I taking profit. Honestly, should I just finish the year off strong with a green day? Just try to make a little more? Where's the unfill 5 minute? Unfill 5 minutes here. Dude, this thing could run though. I know this thing could run. I know this thing could run. I gotta decide. So I typically don't. Nah. He said, don't get greedy. I know I can't. You're right. Don't stop me at break even there. Dude, that was millimeters away from my break even stop. So what time frame are you on? This right here is a 30-second trade I took it off of. 30-second inverse. Honestly, I'll be slightly above break even for the day if this hits. And honestly, I'm just going to take this. Because we could, honestly, I could go for a crazy like 1 to 2. Do I want to end the year off? I could partial here. I can't even decide what I want to do. I just got to take this. I'm going to take this here. I'm a mess. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's December price action too. It's like the last solid day of December, to be honest. So I want this. I think this unfilled 5 minute gap up here will get hit. Oh, come on, go up, Nasdaq. So close yet so far. I think it tapped into that 5 minute. No. Don't react out the 5 minute. No. Come on. Bang. I just took one win, one loss on live stream. I'm up like 43 bucks, so it's essentially a break-even day, but I'm going to be de-risking for the rest of the year, but I'd say it was a W week. I did it on live stream, so I'm live on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, and Kick, but W day. Yeah, and honestly, so I know the market could run all the way to data highs that I was targeting originally. Like, don't get me wrong. Could I see it running all the way up here? Yes. Could I have taken like a crazy trade? Yes. The reason I'm not going for a crazy trade today is because we're in December price action. We're getting very close to Christmas. That first setup failed, so I feel like price action isn't playing out the way I want it to be. So I'm not trying to be risk on today. Like, we could tap into like this 5-minute gap. Like, I don't know if you guys heard me say, oh, we hit this 5-minute. Like, we actually could respect this 5-minute and continue bearish. Like, there's a chance that could happen, and I don't want to take that. But yeah, I mean, we're running. I'm lucky I didn't get stopped at break even though. It came a couple ticks for my break even stop. But so I'm pretty much done trading for the day. So I'm going to go through like all my analysis and everything. I'll start from the beginning of the session. I'll give you guys like my logic behind all these trades. So I'll move over to TradingView for that. But I want to show you guys the P&L calendar, right? Real quick. So all of these trades were taken on live stream for free, right? So in December, so far, I've actually only had one losing day, which I'm pretty proud of, right? I'm up like a little over $2,000. This is on copied across 3 funded accounts. And then I added on these accounts. And these accounts are only on, there's 2 of them. They're up like 1.5. But yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I definitely could have made more money today. But I don't think it's the right decision, to be honest. Like, because if it came back down, stopped me at break even, I'd be pissed at myself. I know it. But you said, how do you start learning? I just watched a shit ton of videos on YouTube, and then I bought some people's courses, to be honest, which I'm not saying gave me a great amount of value, but I've just been in this game for a long time. But so I'll move over to TradingView to break down this trade. Well, I'll break down, I took 2 trades. I took 1 loss, 1 break even. 1 loss, 1 win, I mean. So I will break down both of these trades, right? So coming into the session, right? I couldn't find a trade like all the way before 10 a.m., right? So at 10 a.m., you guys can see my screen, right? Yeah, cool. Oh, and by the way, Joey, I don't think I responded to you. You said, nice one, man. Good job. I appreciate that, Joey. But so we opened up this 15-minute fair value gap at 10 a.m., right? So I got to zoom over, right? So there's this huge 15-minute fair value gap right here, right? So we traded back into it, and then at the top of this trend, because I know higher time frame, we might not look the most bullish, but I bet we can agree that like at this moment in time right now, we are trending up, right? So we're trending up, we're delivering from a bullish 15-minute gap. Let's look what happened next. After we delivered from that bullish 15-minute gap, we disrespected this bearish 5-minute gap. So in theory, if we were to continue moving bearish, we really shouldn't invert this 5-minute gap, which this setup actually didn't play out. I was waiting for this data high up here to get swept on either NQ or ES, and at that point, then I would go break even, right? And in case you don't know what a data high is, so a data high is just a wick left behind by the 930 candle, right? So I'm sorry, the high impact news candle. So right at 10 a.m. we had the new home sales coming out, right? So we left behind that wick. I wanted to target it, right? So I did lose this first setup, but people in chat were saying, oh, you got to go short, bro. Why are you looking for longs? Blah, blah, blah. But I do know, like, data highs are a very strong draw, and I'm very confident in my model, right? So we swept out this low that was my stop loss, right? We barely swept it. We got a reaction out of that, right? So it's not like I'm dropping my bias. Like, just because that trade lost does not mean I'm immediately dropping my bias, right? So, you said you risk 500 per trade. What's your risk to reward? I typically go for like 1-to-1 to like slightly over 1-to-1. But today I just took 1-to-1 because I feel like price action's been moving kind of weird. But so this 30-second right here, right? So we opened up this 30-second gap after we swept out my stop loss, right? We built up all of these stacked highs right here, right? So I always talk about low resistance liquidity. So you got to think about, like, if there's all these stacked highs, there's all these stop losses, which is a great area the price could get drawn to, right? So I do know when all these low resistance liquidity gets ran, right? It typically gets ran very quickly. So once I saw close through this 30-second gap, I did try a long. I went break even when all this liquidity got ran. So I'm pretty sure ES ran it all first, which caused me to go break even. I got very lucky here. It actually came 2 ticks away from stopping me at break even, and it did not stop me at break even. Bless up. But yeah, so then I essentially just went for I went for slightly over a 1-to-1, I'm pretty sure, just because I wanted to have a little bit of green on the day, because I'm low-key a degenerate, and I love showing that calendar on Top Step, where I love showing the green, so I had to finish the day green. But honestly, I did get scared though, because part of the reason I like this 30-second too, this right here was an unfilled 5-minute gap, right? So I believe like unfilled 5 and 15-minute gaps, they're very strong draws. So honestly, even if we were going to continue bearish, right? Even if we did continue bearish, this 5-minute gap should get tapped into and respected. And if we're going to continue bullish, it's going to get tapped into, and then we're just going to completely disrespect it, right? So either way, if we go bullish or bearish, that gap's still getting hit, if that makes sense. And you can see, right, this thing is still running, right? Like, I was talking about how data highs are the clear draw, right? They're definitely the clear draw still, right? I mean, like, I was always right. There was just a stop raid. And that's another thing too, why I feel like emotions are so important in trading, right? Like if I got stop rated here and I'm like, oh my God, I lost money, blah, blah, blah. And I like lost my like cognition. Like I wouldn't have, gotten that trade. You said, not gonna lie, copied your trade and up a band now. Love to hear it, bro. Good stuff, Jeremy. And guys on TikTok though, I don't know if you heard before, I do live trade out for free on YouTube as well, and you get like the full screen. It's more like live time in the future, so definitely sub to my YouTube is TimB272. And also, if you guys are looking for a prop firm to trade with, my favorite prop firm is Alpha Futures. And you guys can use my discount code, which is code TimB272. It's currently going to get you 10% off all the valuations or like where the best current discount is. So if you guys want to support me, use my discount code at Alpha Futures. I think they're a great firm. But honestly, one thing I want to tie into the analysis I just gave was, I don't know if you guys remember, I was saying, yeah, I could go for a Hail Mary trade. But you see how we're kind of pulling back here and stuff, right? Like, honestly, I feel like the days where price action isn't moving that good I'm not trying to put risk on those days. And honestly, I would say today is one of those days I want to put risk on. You said what days are closed next week for the holidays? I really should know the answer to this, but Christmas is 100% closed. And then the day before Christmas, I'm pretty sure we close. It's an early close, which I want to say means 1 p.m. But SVRN Capital says, how long you been trading, Tim? So honestly, I first started all the way back in 2018. But I'd say I got serious about like 3.5 years ago. So honestly, like back in 2018, I was degenerate gambling options. But I'd say I locked in about like 3.5 years ago. And you said, what is your system when it comes to feeling tilt triggers unique to obvious? That's kind of a hard question to answer. But I feel like I've just learned all the things that trigger me, and I've gotten to the point where I know I have to accept either one, I'm gonna either need to step away from the charts because I no longer can rationally make decisions, or the other option is I either just grew as a person and I learned, like, you know what, like I've gotten stopped at break even X amount of times and I still came back stronger. Like today, like, for example, right? Like, I could have gone on tilt. Like, look at this stop raid. Like, did you see me saying, oh my God, my stop loss, blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, for 5 seconds, I was upset when I got stopped out. But, like, I gotta stay clear-minded, right? Like, if we're gonna stop raid me like this and give a ridiculously clear setup, I gotta re-enter. You said we're about to see a break of structure soon? Bro, I took 2 trades, and you haven't even... I mean, it's all love, bro, but But you said what year did you first start becoming profitable? I'd say like 2024 is the first year I really started being profitable. I mean, on paper, the definition of profitable is just finishing the year in profit. So it was 20 it was either 2024 or 2023 that I had my first positive year. But how do I not know this off the top of my head? I'd be messing things up, but you said eating pizza to this is a W day. I appreciate you hanging out with me, trades. You said soon to be a W trade. I'm rooting for you, bro. I think longs are still the move until those data highs get hit. But I don't know if you guys have any last minute questions, drop them. But I'm probably gonna start wrapping up the stream now. But I don't know if you guys heard before too. I do have a free Discord. It's linked in my profile, so you guys can tap in there. Tag me at any time. Ask me any questions. I post my live trading schedule like every week in there because I do live trade Monday through Friday for New York AM session every week, like Monday through Friday. But you said how much have you made doing this? This year I'm up like $20,000. You said, yo, I just came back. Did we hit stop? So I actually got stopped out. Like my first setup was I took this long over here. It literally barely stopped me out. And then I took another long after it stopped me out. And that one won. And I'm up like barely for the day. But honestly, I'm okay with it. I mean, you said, Tim, I'm going to catch this at 1 to 3R. Honestly, I think this could hit a 1 to 3R. Like, honestly. Like, if it wasn't a December day when, like, price action isn't moving ideally, I would be going for a higher risk to reward. I just don't like, we're so close to Christmas. Price action was ass until 11 a.m. Like, I just didn't feel confident holding this until, like, now, for example. You said, I'm still holding the first trade? Yeah, I mean, it could definitely hit the data highs. Yeah, but I probably got to start getting ready. I do still work my part-time job, so I got to get ready for that one. But if you guys did like this live, drop me a follow. And I do live stream, like I said before, Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for New York AM session. I do this regularly, so if you guys like this, pull up again. But I do appreciate every single one of you guys stopping by. I hope all of you have a good weekend, and peace out, guys.